And this is who's running your town. This is why we need to vote out Frank Beltran. Watch this.
5 Investigates first broke the story about a Pueblo West man who says that county officials took his land and gave it to someone else. Well, now the county clerk and the county assessor are both sitting down with chief investigative reporter Eric Ross to explain what happened.
County officials were not happy when our original story aired. After sending emails back and forth seeking comment about what we uncovered, the county clerk and assessor finally agreed to sit down and address this situation on camera. Tonight, new details into why this man's property was taken out of his name and given back to the original seller.
I register my deed. I think it's proper deed. Year and a half later, they say improper deed. I can't find the homeowner.
Matthew Anderson bought this parcel of land next door to his home for $12,000. He showed us tax records and a bill of sale showing the property is his, and on paper it was, until a few months ago when the assessor's office removed Anderson's name and gave ownership back to the original seller. It may seem like a simple error with a simple fix.
If they can take it out of my name, I'm sure they can put it back in my name.
But it's a little more complicated than that. You see, the document which Anderson says he thought was a good deed turned out to be a bill of sale, according to Assessor Frank Beltran.
I don't doubt that he bought the property. He's got the document on a bill of sale that he did purchase the property. But I cannot transfer it by state law without a legal deed.
You say the document that was presented to your office is a bill of sale, not a deed.
Correct.
But at some point, your office did recognize that same document as a deed because it was recorded and the property was put in his name at some point in time.
That's correct. It was the clerk still looked at it as a bill of sale, but she didn't know that a bill of sale didn't transfer property.
As Beltran explained, a new clerk in his office prematurely transferred ownership into Anderson's name without having a proper deed on file.
I thought everything was good until a year and a half later when they decided it wasn't a good deed. If they would have told me a bad deed, you know, within a week or something, I would have easily been able to get a hold of the fellow and have it fixed.
Why not just say, look, we made a mistake. Let's find a way to make it right.
I did that. We all talked to him and told him this is what we can do. The only other option you have is a quiet title. And that's in front of the judge, that's in front of the courts.
Since Anderson cannot locate the seller, he has to apply for what's called a quiet title decree, a fancy term for filing a court case and letting the judge decide who is entitled to the deed.
Once you do that, we get a court order, we change it.
Telling someone to apply for a quiet title decree is like a foreign language to some people. If I were to go outside this courthouse right now and poll 10 people and ask them to explain to me what a quiet title decree is, how many people do you think would actually know what that is?
I can't answer that. I mean, I don't know how knowledgeable people are.
I feel like I've been robbed because I've paid all these payments. I paid the taxes which were coming in my name.
$12,000, that's a lot of money. And like I say, I don't disagree he doesn't own the property. It's his. But until the deeds are filed correctly, by law, I can't change it.
Which brings us to the county clerk's office, the agency that records multiple types of records, including deeds.
Especially with a deed, there needs to be certain things done so that the deed is proper.
Meaning it has to contain certain words, like sell and convey, per Colorado statute. But you shouldn't count on the clerk's office to tell you that, and here's why. Does your office tell customers when they come in to record a document that we do not make sure that this document is legal? We simply record what you bring to us.
No, we have signs up that say that.
In other words, the clerks do not provide any legal advice or review of documentation you bring in, something Anderson says he found out after his recorded document was deemed an invalid deed.
She told me they'll register a piece of toilet paper. You just pay them the money.
Can you register a document on a piece of toilet paper?
Absolutely not.
The assessor said, quote, I could sell you this courthouse on a piece of toilet paper, and if you want to pay to have it recorded, they will record it. That is the email that we received.
And see, when I read that, to me, it's a saying. You know what I mean? Like, you could write anything on anything. It's a legal phrase, in my opinion. Or, I don't know how to put it, a cliche.
Clerk and recorder Gilbert Ortiz says while he sympathizes with what's happened here, his hands are tied.
Because we recorded the document, it doesn't make it a certified or it doesn't make it a proper deed because we've recorded it.
The assessor's office says they're now making phone calls to try and resolve this matter by getting a hold of the original seller. And we are making progress on this situation. We'll let you know if the county is able to get a hold of the original seller. But if not, we do plan to assist Anderson in gathering the paperwork he needs to have his case heard in front of a judge. Now, to prevent this nightmare from happening to you, it never hurts to have an attorney familiar with real estate help you draft a bill of sale and deed. You can also find multiple pre-produced templates online, but you probably want to have a second set of eyes look at it just to make sure it's the correct form. Always watching out for you, Eric Ross, News 5 Investigates.